You're all welcome. Yeah. Welcome to the examples, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Yeah.
This is Mr. Nomo. I'm an example.
I'm an example.
I'm an example.
I'm an example.
I am an example.
Are you?
Who are you?
Are you?
Who are you? Are you?
I said I dream to be. Yeah. All that I could be is not a dream to me. It's a reality. I said I dream to be. Yes, sir. All that I could be is not a dream to me. It's a reality. Examples. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Examples Podcast. It's your boy Wiz Gam. And I got a real one in here today. I got somebody that's really certified, that's really an example. I got my man Ricky Duncan in here, a.k.a. Mr. Nomo. Now I'm going to say PKA, professionally known as Mr. Nomo. What up, Rick?
What's up with you, Wiz, man? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I had to hunt you down. I was tracking you down. I wasn't accepting no for an answer. I was like, nah, Rick is the perfect person for what we're trying to do. So here on the Examples Podcast, we like to put light on the people that's really examples out here, that's really making a difference, that really got their hands on what's moving out here and really trying to help these youngins. You feel what I'm saying? So the first question I want to ask you is, do you think there's a disconnect between our generation and the younger generation under us?
I don't think I know, man. The work tells me this. Definitely a disconnect that need to be reconnected because it's a must. It's part of the cultivational process when we deal with our young people. Again, as we spoke earlier, man, they can't be what they can't see, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got to reestablish the relationships with our younger generation, letting them know it's no us versus them. It's us. We're here to support and guide along the way. Hear their trial. We're not just trying to tell them what to do. We're trying to listen to what they need.
Yeah.
We got to reconnect. We definitely need to reconnect and establish these relationships because without no communication, ain't no community, Wiz.
I agree with you wholeheartedly right there. Like a lot of times, people in our generation take the wrong approach to talk to them. Talk about some ways that some things that you do to reach out to them, to make them gravitate to what it is that you're doing.
Well, it starts with a relationship,
Right.
a conversation and relationship. And I try to put the carrot in front of the rabbit. I let them know that their time is worth money, so I incentivize it. Because most young people's situation is situational.
Yeah.
They're not out there in these streets because they want to be.
Right.
That's not a chosen profession. That's not what they raised their hand up on first grade and said, when I grow up, I want to be a drug dealer. I want to be a gangster. They're living life on life terms. It's not a video game. So we can't just press reset. So I try to meet them where they at, but don't leave them there. At the same time, being able to speak the language of the people. So I lead by example, which I choose to call role model.
Yeah.
A real model, excuse me. A real model is the definition of a role model, but it's more of a credible messenger.
And you accept that position like, yes, I'm a real model.
Yeah, a real model. And I want to
that.
let them see me in real time, realistically, and know that I can relate to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want them to know that I come from where they come from. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've served time, lots and lots of it. You know what I mean? I've been in those streets. I've been in those corners. You know what I mean? I picked up those guns. You know what I mean? But I want them to know what it left me. I want them to know that I got my feet dirty. Now I want to help me keep yours clean.
I like that. So let's how did you start Nomo?
Well, actually, Wiz, everybody always asks me that question, right? Let's be clear and let the record reflect that Nomo was started by a great man, my mentor, I choose to call father figure, Dr. Tom Reed. He started Nomo, right?
Salute to Dr. Tom
And
Reed.
Dr. Tom Reed, and he started it back in 2006. And what you know in his work, as we said, meet them where they at, being able to speak the language of people. When he started, he had great intentions, but he kind of, as he elevated into the position of life and as he got older, he outgrew the position. So it went doormat for some years. In 2010, it kind of went doormat because the gentleman that was behind the scenes, like they were a little older.
Right.
So they was looking at you. This work you couldn't be looked at as a grandpa.
Yeah.
You really wanted to be looked at as
For
an OG of an old head. So what happens is I started a program called Balling Up Scholastic and Sports while I was incarcerated. And Dr. Tom Reed would come in when I was a member of the FACT program and SCI Greatest Ford, And he was like a mentor. Him, Sam Stanton Jr., Dr. Gene Wright, and a whole Ron Waters, a host of other real credible messengers. They were coming in and we were having these conversations. I was always telling them about what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, I also was a drug and alcohol treatment specialist, and Dr. Reed, he had numerous amount of drug and alcohol treatment centers. So he told me when I get out, he was going to offer me a job. But every day I would lead a job to go to the schools
Right.
and talk to the kids. I would go to the rec centers.
Right.
And he said, well, listen. And I kept telling him I'm trying to build up my nonprofit.
Right.
He said, well, I got a nonprofit that's doormat. It already has its 501c3, even got a couple of hours in the bank. If you're not stuck on your name, which was Balling Up Scholastic and Sports, and you just, and I said, he said, and then you just trying to do the work, you know what I mean? And you want to do the work, and you want to be incorporated and legalized and have a history that you don't got to build up, that already have an organization that already has a history, you can reunite that. And he grandfathered it over to me. Once I found out what it meant, Nomo, new option, more opportunity. I said, man, it's not about the name, it's about the game. What does it mean?
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it was about the game, man. And so in 2015, I took over Nomo, and I haven't turned back since. Shout out to the great late Dr. Tyree.
Oh man, so let's talk about some of the resources that you offer at Nomo, because I've seen with my own eyes, like a lot of people, like you of course you got the haters out there, but I've actually seen you have resources, right?
Yes.
I've seen you contribute to people. I've seen you grab these young boys, put suits on them, go in your own pocket. You feel what I'm saying? Take them to games, and I've seen you actually, like, you do a lot. So explain like some of the things that you do at Nomo.
Well, like I said, a lot of people play the number games, and numbers don't do nothing but, you know what I mean, add to statistics.
Yeah.
So, my thing is, like when I say meet them with that, a lot of times I get a lot of these young brothers out of JJC.
Yeah.
I go on once a week. I run an entrepreneurship life skill class. I go into the schools.
Right.
I go into the playgrounds. I go in the corners. So I want them to see me in a light that, you know what I mean? I don't want them to see that TV stuff. I want to see that Instagram stuff. Like, I ain't grow up under that. So I don't want them to see all that. I want them to see that, let them know that I've been where you might be going. I did over 20 years in the penitentiary, you know what I mean, at the end of the day.
And you don't even show, not to cut you off, but you don't even really show half the stuff that you do.
No.
Like, what you see on social media is nothing compared to what you actually do.
A lot of the young men that I work with is kill or be killed young brothers. So they're at risk. They're not for the lights and the likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The relationships that we got to have is different than the early initiative intervention prevention services.
Yeah.
These are young people that I want to do, you know what I mean? I want to do Penn State over the state pen.
Yeah.
But then I had these other young brothers that needs the new options, more opportunity. They need a different light, or a different light to be looked at. You know what I mean? They're trying to change their life. So right now at Nomo, we have 3 different locations.
Right.
And people think you work with the young men. No, I work with young men and women.
Right.
Because believe it or not, the young women are contributed more to the crime and the violent rate than the young men. Young men pulling the trigger, but it's somehow a lot of times ignited by the young women.
Wow.
And they can't be what they can't see because their mom's doing double jobs, or they had a child at a young age, and their mom out partying. And, they got free time. There's devil eye time, which is a devil play toy. So I try to make sure that I'm really catering to both.
Right.
So right now, again, we started at 5510 Woodland Avenue with a storefront.
Yeah.
We outgrew it rapidly, quick. So now we have 3 locations. Our main locations on Broad and Girard, which is our workforce development. The first youth paid workforce development, meaning if you between the ages 11 to 24, you make up to $200.
Right.
Just for coming in the door. And it's not just, I'm never going to say just for walking in the door, coming in the door and applying some effort. Because this ain't the welfare office. I tell them all the time, it's incentivized, meaning you earn to learn. You learn, then you earn.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we make sure they got that. We got work. We got what we call supportive services that make sure they always got secondary education applications paid for.
Right.
Make sure they got their driver's license, driver's school paid for. Make sure they got all their vital documents. Make sure they got hygiene packages, a cell phone. Make sure they got computers, their school clothes when they need to go back to school. And that's all paid for. We got financial literacy, trauma-informed care, mental health services. workforce development, entrepreneurship classes, brand and fashion design, culinary arts. We have they do hair, they do the barber school, So then we have our restorative justice program in South Philadelphia. Shout out to my partner, Dewan Packy. You know what I mean? He runs the restorative justice. That's our RIPS program, which stands for Restorative Intervention and Prevention Service. This is where we got our diversion kids.
Right.
This is where we have our at-risk kids. This we have our kids coming from JJC, the Juvenile Justice Center. Just people need to.
How is that? Not to cut you off, but how is that dealing with the at-risk kids, like the kids that need like help right instantly? How is that? Like that got to be
They're
something.
a little bit more easy to deal with, believe it or not, than the kids that doesn't need that
Really?
that instant gratification, because they're not used to have a lot of these. Like I said, most of these situations are situational. Once you get to know them and establish that relationship and have that conversation, because as I said, no community, no communication. Once you had that conversation, you see they're not really bad kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're kids at heart. Don't know bad kid go to a program.
Right.
I was
exactly.
a bad kid. You couldn't get me to go to no program.
Yeah, me too.
So don't know if you're gonna walk in this door every day,
Yeah.
you're not really a bad kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna risk walking in this door every day, you ain't going through much as you think you're going through.
So you see something in them, like if they. So you once they come in there, it's like, all right, you really want help.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Because
they're coming
most
in
of our stuff
wasting
is
their
not
time.
not court mandated. When I leave JJC, I don't tell the judge. I don't get into the judge, make him go there.
Right.
I give my card, so I'm there when you get there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Pull up, I got you. When they pull up, I take them shopping. You know what I mean? Get them laced up, get some sneaks, get their hair cut, clean them up, get them some clothes. You know what I mean? Get them back and forth. Try to give them a job opportunity. You know, get them in whatever vocational training that they wanted to get to, and I make sure they actively in Nomo with a case manager to
Right.
monitor their process. So, so they're the ones that like I said, a young brother, and I give them. I don't just I give them. They got to reach different levels to get different things.
Right.
Because what happens is, at the end of the day, when you come home, I'll make sure you got a suit, not to go to court, not to go to a funeral, but to a job interview.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or present your business, because everybody's not a worker.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people are bosses by nature.
Right.
And they lead by example, and they become great entrepreneurs.
You actually
But-
got something to give them. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have anything to give them, but they want to say what they should be doing, what these youngins should be doing, but they don't have nothing to give them.
Man, you got to lead with the word. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, these young ones don't want to hear all that chat and chew shit. Excuse my language. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they want to show them better. You can tell. And your reputation will precede you.
Yeah.
So what happens is, when you do this with 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 other young brothers, they're going to tell the other young boys to let them know that, listen, they're official.
Yeah.
If you really try to do, they looked out for me. He ain't just running his mouth. Because a lot of people doing something dirty, trying to call it clean, playing those numbers games.
Yeah.
They sign in, they let the young boys run free. Long as they got their name on that paper, they cash it on that paper.
Wow. And to me, that's contributing a lot to the problem. Like because you really ain't giving them any resources. You're really not helping them. You just getting a bankroll. You getting a check off of them.
You get a check off them, and
that's
you can't look at
corny.
these young boys as checks. And just speaking about the young women, now I have a whole facility on 40th and Lancaster called the Tom Reed Village, named after the late great Dr. Tom Reed. And this is my housing program, where I got 23 affordable luxury apartments.
Wow.
And these are for young women 18 to 24. They don't have to be a mother. They get to be underhoused, homeless, or they home just wasn't homesome. So they need a fresh start to get to the end of that generational curse.
Wow.
So we got these are independent living. It's independent living, but the difference in my housing program versus a lot of other ones, again, I said I'm not the welfare office. This ain't Section 8. At the end of the day, it's a program. So we're gearing them up with first-time home buying classes, credit repair. We're doing financial literacy, case management, life skills coaches, getting them livable wage jobs, because the goal is for 18 months to prepare them to be a first-time home buyer, so we can end generational curse and create generational wealth. Inside that same building, we have a resource center on the next plot. It's three plots there. Inside the resource center, you have the Mothers Association that's servicing young mothers that's in need of just basic mother expenses like Pampers, diapers, milk, all that. We have a restorative justice program there also for dudes returning from prison needing some work. We got drug and alcohol. Shout out to ODAT, Mel Wells, he's in there. We have a financial center, and we also have a resource lab, computer lab.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a computer at home, and if you get a job that requires a computer to work from home, you can come in there
Right.
and just use the computer, free Wi-Fi, and most
I didn't even
importantly,
know you did all this.
yeah,
that part.
we got an
I just know
affordable hair
about
care
Nomo.
center for
Wow.
whereas though you can go. I got a whole hair salon in there. Whereas though you pay what you can afford because they say you look good, you feel good. A lot of hurting people for a lot of reasons. It's not only reason they're hurting is because of so you got physical harm.
Yeah.
Some just don't feel good, so their feelings is hurt. So we got affordable hair care center in there, economic development center for small businesses to come up and shut up pop-up shops, and they can establish an address so they can have brick and mortars to be able to be eligible for some different fundings.
Yeah.
This is community development, man. It's bigger than just the kid. I literally got a kid in my program now that I have from 12 years old that's actually working for the school district now, living in my one of my apartments.
Wow. So let's get to that part, right? So a lot of the kids that come, what's the average age of the kids that come into your program?
Summertime, we go 0 to 24 because we have a free summer camp, cultivating summer camp.
Right.
And wintertime is 11 to 24
And
because of the high level education.
what's your what would you say your success rate is like with these kids? Like, because I've seen and I know a few kids that came through your program, and those kids are doing pretty well. So, and you don't even show this stuff. Like this is what I mean. Like this is why I wanted you on this podcast, because you are a real example. Like you really got your boots on the ground. Like you really helping. Like you can't show half the stuff you do because a lot of, like you said, a lot of the cases are I can't show you this because somebody might got to be relocated. Somebody might need housing or somebody, they don't want to show different things. You feel what I'm saying? So you do it in private. You feel what I'm saying? So this is why I wanted you to come on this podcast, just to talk about, like, and all the resources, some of the resources I never even knew you had. You feel what I'm saying? So you do all these things. Like, do the city help you in any way or try to put light on what you're doing?
Well, I can say the city has, wrapped their arms around us on a holistic approach, but it took a long time to get to that point. You know what I mean? Because, again, my record doesn't say that I'm coming home to help kids.
Right.
My record says I'm probably coming home to do what I've been doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than building the community, probably destroying the community. So at the end of the day, I had to build that up. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. They say, well, Nomo get this, Nomo. It's about 5-6 years before I first got a grant from anybody. At least 5-6 years from anybody before anybody ever gave me anything. And when I opened that housing program up, I opened that up on a whim, like with no funding. But I felt like it was a resource and it was a need. And I feel as though everybody should add value to value. Because if you're not going to invest and add value to value, you're going to devalue the value. And then what? We still going to have these issues.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that housing program we opened up, we got funded from Office of Homeless Services. We have a community expansion grant with the city. We have a few activity things in place. Council President Kenyatta Johnson supports us 100%. We got some support from some local and from some state and local senators. You know what I mean? But again, we led by example.
Right.
You know what I mean? We didn't tell you who we are. We showed you who we were. You know what I mean? And like I said, when I first came home, a lot of the work was out of pocket. A lot of the work was out of pocket. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, I didn't receive a paycheck for years. You see
What drives you though? What drives you to do what you're doing?
The end of a generational curse, because at the end of the day, my dad's name is Ricky. He did over 20-something years in the penitentiary. My name is Ricky. I did 20-something years in the penitentiary. I have a son named Ricky that's turning 21 that was in the process of, you know what I mean? I got to make sure that he doesn't follow in those footsteps.
Yeah.
So I got to do it for them. That's who I do it for, my kids first. Because in their friends are friends.
Right.
And peer pressure is what it is. So you have to realize that I have to do it holistically. I start with being an example of my kids because I know they hold the history of Ricky Rolex versus Ricky Duncan.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they heard that history. So I had to rewrite the book for them. You know what I mean? And then I seen that this is my community. I feel half responsible for the problem. So at the end of the day, I'm motivated by, like I said, my dirty stick is keeping everybody else's clean and creating a better environment for my family and for the other young brothers in the city of Philadelphia because they don't ask for the stuff that they get.
So I saw something once on Instagram. It was something you did. Like I'm just now finding out about that luxury apartment housing that you do. But I seen you like take a bunch of mothers Christmas shopping, or it was Xboxes. It was like real stuff.
Walmart,
Like
yeah.
it wasn't like the little cheap little trucks and all that, or gas station trucks and Legos and all that. Y'all gave them people real stuff, bro.
Yeah, when we first opened the village, we had 10 participants that I poured out of turning points, and they
Yeah.
all was homeless. And we told them to come in for interview.
Right.
So they thought they was coming in for orientation. So I put them we put the sprinter pull up, put them all in the sprinter. We took them up there, and when they got to the apartments, it was fully furnished already, decorated. But we know it don't stop there. You know what I mean? Remember, they have nothing. So then we put them back in the sprinter and took them and got all the essentials that they need. Each one of them got a chance to spend
Wow.
2,000 hours on the essentials that they needed for their apartment.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So hopefully they were able to stock it up. And this was right into Christmas, you know what I mean? And it was like tears of joy all over the place. It was a fun sight for me. I'm not a person who celebrate Christmas, but just to see those smiles on those faces of these young parents and just know that they, you know what I mean, their situation that enlightened was a bright spot in my life.
Wow. Yeah, that was something to see. Like I was happy, man. I seen Wallow with you. You work with Wallow a lot?
Yeah,
When you do those
Wallow. Wallow was at another one that he turned into a fiasco. Wallow followed is different, man. Wallow a whole different beast, man.
Yeah.
He's on a whole different level.
Yeah.
Definitely a real model, credible messenger for all those in the reform space, reentry space.
Yeah.
Wallow came out and changed the narrative of what can't happen, because he's showing you it can happen. And
It can happen.
me, him, and Mel Wells, we had went down to Target, and we were doing our back. But it was another part of this back. This was back part of the winter celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And Wallow went live, and we was on Fox today, Good Day Fox, and he telling everybody, come on down. And we was only supposed to service at 300 kids, and
it was 300, all right.
Man, they had we told them, do not come down there until 2 o'clock. We pulled back up about 10:30. There had to be about 3,000 people out there. Wow. But we wanted to really bless everybody. I'm talking about heavy.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to turn nobody away, so we just looked out for everybody that pulled up. You know what I mean? And made sure everybody was good. We had something for from the babies to the ladies.
Yeah. Do you think? Well, I feel like it makes a difference. Do you think what you're doing, right? Do you think it makes a big difference in our community? Like when they get to see somebody just that come from where they come from, give back the way you give back, and like you really take care of people. So do you think it makes a difference, or do you think some people are like, man, they
If
BS?
we turned off all the lights in this room right now, and it was pitch black, and we just turned on one light,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be a beacon of light, right? That'd be something that it'll give us vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the goal is to give them vision, to show them that it can happen. That's where that real model statement comes from. Showing people in real time, reality, realistically, you know what I mean, and stuff that they can relate to. So I believe me coming home, and I've only been home since 2015. I'll be going on my 10th year next year being at home. I'm off of parole, off of paper, first time in my life.
Mm.
You know what I mean? All praise to God
Congratulations
on that. And to show them, and again, I know my track record was tore up. My record long as Broad Street.
I know.
You see what I'm saying? So my track record was tore up, and I've been on every side of the game. So I wanted to show them that, listen, it don't stop here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I did it on the block, and I did it in the boardroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still me.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Only different is, like, you know what I mean? I might have took a pay cut, but I took a lifestyle upgrade.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I don't no longer got to clean my mirrors. I ain't got to worry about spinning the block 3 times before I go in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't got to do that no more.
Going in the house
I ain't
like
got to go
this.
in with my illegal firearm on one hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't got to do none of that. You know what I mean? Because I'm good in all hoods.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know what I mean? Because we always going to have people who's going to be people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The hate is always going to be around. living in the streets of Philadelphia.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Has it ever been cases that you like? I'm turning this case away. I can't work with you. Has it ever been any cases like that?
it haven't. I don't see nobody that's not workable because I'm gonna advocate for you as much as you advocate for yourself. I ain't gonna turn you away. You turn yourself away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the doors is open. But what's gonna happen is, I'll be honest. Like all my spaces got event spaces in them. Got a ballroom in South Philly, another event space in West, and event spaces in North Philly, right? And it's certain funerals you got to turn away. Repasses and stuff, like, you know what I mean, because of this. It's like just like the Department of Corrections, care, custody, and concern got to be your majority and your main thing. You know what I mean? So certain things are just not. I know mom love them. I know a couple other people love them.
Yeah.
But this boy done killed 20 people.
Yeah.
And somebody that finally killed him, I probably can't have a repass at my spot because somebody be trying to come back and finish the job. You see what I'm saying? You might got some other enemies associated with that. Other than that, the door's open. Like I said, new opportunity, doors are opportunities open. Even August 24th, we're doing another expungement clinic, right? Doing our expungement clinics, we don't do the average expungement because you just come and do your paperwork. Again, we like to put the carrot in front of the rabbit. We're going to pay, make sure you get there. We're going to get your septic pass, make sure you get there, we make sure you get back. You want to come there, we're going to make sure you need something to wear. We're going to make sure you got some suits and what. We're going to have job resources there. We're going to give you $25 gift card to go ahead and do whatever you got to do once you leave there. And we're going to give you free legal services and feed you at the same time. You know what I mean? Sometimes people might just come for the job, but at the same time bumping and getting their record expunged. You know what I mean? But you got to go through the whole circle to make sure you just come here for one thing, you will get everything. Our back to school drive is we call it a prep rally. It's called the citywide prep rally because everybody give out book bags. Kids need a lot more than the book bag.
Uniforms.
So we do a block party style. We do the whole Broad Street, 1,200, 1,300 block of Broad Street. We give out uniforms. We only give you one or two. So you know that won't go a long way. You know what I mean? If you perspire.
It's a start, though.
So we give you deodorant.
Yeah.
So if you only got to wear that one or two, you know what I mean, you ain't smelling bad in it. But guess what? If you get a stain, we give you laundry detergent. So in case you just gotta hit that one and two, hit the sink.
Yeah.
You gotta go to the laundry, man. You might gotta hit the sink, clean it up. We give you book bags, school supplies. We get your hair done if you're a young lady, and we get your hair cut if you're a young man. We have a concert because it's a celebration. We gonna call it a pep rally. We call it a prep because we prepare you to get back for school.
Yeah.
We got resources so after school you can go to when you get out of school. You know what I mean? We do computers for the college level students because we can't forget about them.
Yeah.
You know, we don't celebrate them college graduations like we celebrate them welcome home parties.
Wow.
So we want to celebrate them college level kids too. So like I said, it's always something that we're trying to do to give back to our community, make these kids go back when it's a South. And the reason why we do the expungement clinic the day before the prep rally, because we go to expungement clinic and some sports physicals, is because parents can't go on trips with kids no more.
Yeah.
They can't be active. They got records.
Yeah.
So, and it might be something as small as a misdemeanor you had 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure you're equipped as a parent to be actively involved with your kids during the school year.
Yeah.
So let us help you do that. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, like I said, if we can't pay for you to get there, we'll make sure you get a gift card to pay for you to get back. You'll get a septic pass at $25 so you can pay the person back to help you get to the expungement clinic.
How can people get in contact with Nomo and all the other resources that you have? Like, where can they find you at?
Well, www.Nomo Foundation is our website. If you're looking to just register a kid for the program, registration at nomofoundation.org. If you just want some information, info@nomofoundation.org. You can always follow us on Instagram, Nomo_Foundation, Restorative Justice, Nomo_Foundation. They all pop up. Nomo, New Options, More Opportunity, Nomo Foundation on Facebook.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, Nomo Foundation. Me personally, Ricky Duncan.
Yeah.
My Instagram at Mr. Nomo. You know what I mean? I'm not it done got so big of the request. I personally might not be your service provider. So a lot of people hit me up and be like, "Yo, I just text you, I just called you, I just hit
Speaking
you, like,
of,
bro,
so
you got to go through the process."
I called him like, yo, I need you on my podcast. Then I sent the email, like, what's your email? I said, because, I like to be professional too. So I sent the email, and then your assistant, he was like, hey, what's on the schedule? I was like, oh, yeah, I keep forgetting, man.
Yeah, because like what
You
happens is
you act regular, but I keep forgetting sometimes. Like, you got a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
and I overcommit. Like, and I'm not the best organized person.
Yeah.
So, and like that was a problem that I had with my staff and with my schedule was that like they was like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You'll come to me today, yo, bring the kids down, but I'll bring them down because I feel like that's a good thing for them to do.
Oh, yeah.
But they like, we got 3 other things scheduled that week. You overworking us. Like, then
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you I can come, and my assistant like, you can't go at that time. You got something else going on at that time. So I try to play get in my lane and stay in my lane and let everybody that's there to support. Yeah. Everybody that work with me. So everybody, I don't take nobody level of authority from
Well, you definitely got my support, and whatever I can help you with what I do, like I do music. That's my main job.
Yes.
And anytime you like got any kids that want to do music or just record, or just never been in the studio but want to come to the studio and see what it's like, more than welcome. Like I wanted to do something. I wanted to put a project together, like a little mixtape for the kids, and set it up for them to make money off of it. Like we could just contribute all our services, and let them make the money off of the project. Like I don't want to make the money. I just want to do the project, like do something for them, like the ones that want to do music or whatever.
Yeah, well, a lot of them want to do music. You know what I mean? A lot of them want to do music. That's what we call meeting them where they at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said at Nomo, we don't have a structured vocational trainer entrepreneurship classes. Like they're structured, but you don't have to be obligated to it.
Right.
You pick what you want to do,
Yeah.
and if we don't offer it, we go find it.
Yeah.
We don't try to reinvent the wheel. We'll bump into a Wiz and say, "Yo,
Yeah.
got 4 or 5 young boys got to do this music."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they might not be no good.
Yeah.
Because everybody that's a rapper, you know what I mean, ain't a rapper.
And they can
They're
learn
not
the
artists.
business though.
But
Like
they can learn the business. There you
it's
go.
not all about doing the music. Like you could be an entertainment lawyer.
Yes.
I got people that could teach you how to be a lawyer. You could be a producer. I got people that teach you how to produce.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm a writer. I started out as a rapper, but I write for people. Like got 2 number ones. I ain't took my own horn, but we got 2 number
shout out
ones.
to you though. You got to tune it because they got to see it happen in the hood. That happens. They need to see that happens in the hood. You see what I'm saying?
Coming from where we come from, like we really like. I got one of my homies in here right now. We grew up together.
Yeah.
We grew up together. Like, and come here, Uzi. Come here. Like, just real quick. Like, we really grew up together, and when I found out he had a job, he got a job. I'm like, he got a job? He hit me first. I'm like, yo, who is? I'm like, oh, this is Uzi. You feel me? You want me to say your government name?
You can.
All right, I got my man Uzi. Birth name is David Mead. You feel me? I think y'all two got a lot in common. Like, so I asked him to come down here today because I wanted him to talk about a little of his story and the programs that you got going on.
I did 10 years of incarceration. Like how he said, nobody really believed my journey and my struggle. Like some of the people, like he said, they be saying, you don't have no job. Why you pump faking out here like you got a job? Then this boy walking around like he all cute with some, like office attire and all that on with a little briefcase. That's why he walking around pump faking or whatever. A lot of people, they don't believe it from what I experienced all my life, from juvenile all the way up to adult, being shot multiple times, like just in and out of everything or whatever. Like, so, like a lot of people counted me out. Like they really said that I wasn't going to make it past 18. I was 13 running around wild and all that. But, when I did that 10 years or whatever, like, I came up with a lot of ideas or whatever. And there, I learned a little bit about business. I got stuff patent or whatever in prison or whatever. Right now, I work for the prison society or whatever, and I'm learning the game or whatever.
Explain what that program is, the prison society.
Well, prison society, that's a program that people that's incarcerated, like actually what goes on there, when you come home, they got job opportunity for you. If you're trying to, come home and get your CDL, if you come home from prison and you need housing, or in other instances or whatever, they got a mentorship. Like for instance, I'm a mentor or whatever. I email certain people around the DOC, like far as like Housedale, Huntington, or whatever, and we just email each other. And for now, I just give them positive upliftment. Tell them don't let nobody trick you out your spot. You getting short or whatever. I know how you feeling right now with the last 2 weeks left or whatever. And so they asked me for resources. Like one guy, he was asking me like he want to be involved with the food business. I said, oh, that'll be easy, man. But one of the guys I was mentoring, my first guy, he actually just came home on July the 30th. So I haven't got with him yet because he tied up or whatever. But soon as I get the opportunity, I'm gonna take him down there to get his business license because I went and got my business license. I realized they was free. I said, damn, this is something everybody in the world should do, even if you don't have no business. So I went down there and got a business license or whatever. Then I paid like $320 or something and got a vendor's license or whatever. So I got both of them or whatever. So that's just like little stuff that I just look at it like I'm supposed to have or whatever. So in case like a person like him ever gave me an opportunity and he'd be like, yo, man, like, only thing you missing, man, bro, just get a vendor. Hey, man, I got it already. When you want to start?
I gotta ask both of y'all a serious question though. Is it people that that come home? Are they afraid to re-enter society again? Like, are they afraid? Like, cause time is time, and time moves like this. What happened last year may not happen this year.
People are institutionalized. Yeah, a lot of people are institutionalized. It's easy to wake up every day and do the same thing every day. But out here, your situation changes daily.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, technology changes daily.
Yeah.
So you got to be to keep up. Some people, I don't think they're scared, but intimidated. Because the first time somebody put an iPhone in front of me, I was like, whatever joint. Like, I need something I can just press go. Like, I need a little joint I can just press go with. Like, and so just even with jobs, they feel like he ain't going to hire me. My record. And I be telling them, yo, we winning out here, bro. They need credible messages. They need people with lived experience versus that college education these days.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs, because so many people has been just as impacted that, you can't no longer just turn away from them because a lot of great things happen behind those walls.
Yeah.
You can either do time and the time can do you. You can turn that penitentiary into a university. So I know doctors people that got their doctor's degree in the penitentiary.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So what you gonna do? Come home and say he got a record, not give him a job?
And he could be a whole doctor.
And he's a whole doctor. Like you got this dude got a bachelor's, associates. This dude just got a plethora of knowledge from being a facilitator in the penitentiary,
Right.
or having social economics throughout the Department of Correction that he can make one call and change the trajectory of a whole lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So having those relationships, like I'm in and outside of courtrooms daily, like or throughout the weeks, and it's like dudes are getting their sentences overturned, and a lot of dirty stuff that happened to people that we done counted them out and said, oh, he this, that, and the third. Come to find out he didn't do it.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah.
And what's so funny about like when me and you was talking or whatever when you came to support me, for the Hope Alive meeting.
Beautiful discussion.
When you came to support me, you were talking about the disconnect and the connection with the old heads and the young boys or whatever. So like, and I actually explained to you like when I was about 12 or 13 years old, like couldn't no old head come to me or whatever, like with no talking about some go get a job or whatever. Like I'm 12, I'm 13 years old, and I want all the sneakers and stuff like all the other kids around me too. And I got into crime life, but started off stealing cars, and then once I start carrying them pistols, it was nothing that no old head could tell me. And it's like, you better not keep on talking for too long or whatever. Like, y'all mean, like, like you drawing, you tipping on me, old head. I ain't really even trying to hear that at all, for real, for real.
Even what my folks will tell me that, they'll tell me a lot like, why you screaming? But I'm like, I'm not really screaming. I'm just used to talking over 3,000 niggas at one time.
Yeah.
800 people on a block.
Yeah.
So if I talk to you like a regular conversation, you're going to hear a word I'm saying because it's 100 other conversations going on at that time. Dudes over there playing spades. Dudes over there playing chess.
Yeah.
Dudes are just rapping. Dudes got Bible studies, got Talim going over it. So if me and you was to sit there and have a conversation, you wouldn't hear me. So my voice and the aggression is because you lived amongst the lions for so long, you ain't had no room to be walking around like a house cat. Cause somebody look at you as prey.
Yeah. So like now, right now, the way young boys is outside right now, they kind of have to be lions.
Yeah.
Like
you gotta adjust to your environment.
It's no room for them to be soft, or if you ain't like you said, both of y'all done been through it all. Your time, really been outside. But y'all approach to these young boys is different. Y'all go to them with something in your hand.
And real recognize, real see, young boys like you. Like I said, I come from before Instagram. I didn't make my name up on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The Mr. Nomo stuff got made up on it. But who I am as a person and my street, I was there when I came up. People gave you your name.
Yeah.
You didn't name yourself.
Yeah, facts.
People name it. My name Killer. My name Shoot 'em down. No, you ain't killed nobody, bro. And why you want that name? Like. You ain't like that.
Yeah.
And I have those conversations with them because when you do work inside the youth study center, you work inside of State Road, and you take away the guns, and you really see who these young boys really are.
It's all these.
They really don't want that smoke. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you get to know who they are. You say, okay, be comfortable in that space. Because people still respect you because I live on a, like I said, I was on Greatest 4, right? And I'm on C Block. C Block might have about 800 people on it, right? Two sides. It was about 800 people on that block, right? But you had people that went to child, went back to cell, went to yard, went back to yard, went to program, and ain't deal with nobody. Ain't nobody mess with him because there was no reason. He wasn't dealing in drugs. He wasn't dealing in illegal activities. He wasn't gambling. So he had no reason for you to mess with him. You see what I'm saying? He did what he had to do, and you can do the same thing on the street. If nobody messes with a civilian that goes to work every day, nobody just picks on you for no reason. You put yourself in situations that put you on the line of fire of other situations. You say, well, it's because of where I live at. Bro, if you're not on the corner with those niggas that you live with, they're not going to bother you. You're going to work, everybody don't even know you from 7th Street. They're not going to know you from 5th Street.
And it's so crazy or whatever, like, it's crazy because I try to be mindful and conscious of the places I go because for real, honestly, like, you could just be at a cookout, like, having a good time. And you could be like, yo, I'm staying at this joint for 15 minutes, man. And stuff just pop off. They be talking about, like, 8 people got shot and all that. And
that's why you got to know your environment.
Right.
Gotta know
so
your
I
environment.
try to make the choices. And when I do, I might not stay to something for 5 minutes. I'm just coming to support you, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, and I'm not supporting everything. I learned that in my years of my almost 10 years of being on these streets. Is I used to go to like all the balloon joints and to try to support the fact they shoot them joints up now. So what I do now is I do my due diligence. I ascertain all the facts and say, who was this guy?
Yeah.
Now, if this was a guy that got hit by, like I said, mistaken identity, he was out there at the wrong place at the wrong time, okay. But if it's just the boy that killed 6 other people, or they going through something, he got hit because
they going to spin around.
5th Street going through on 7th Street, its chances are 7th Street might spend his blood.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put myself in that position.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you live somewhere, you're not from there. You live there. Once you start claiming this neighborhood and claiming this area where you from, you can say South Philly, but once I tell you I'm from 7th Street, I'm claiming 7th Street.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm from South Philly, but I'm claiming 7th Street. But if I just say I live in South Philadelphia, or I can say one of the new names, what they call it,
Queens
Village, or I'm from here. You're not gonna say I'm from 5th Street. I'm from Brewery Town, but you're not gonna say, "Oh, this boy from Nice Town." You ain't gonna say that. You're gonna give him. You gonna let him get in when he fit in. But once you start claiming and making association, not only is the streets gonna take note, the feds gonna take note.
Do you think that contribute to a lot of the violence and stuff that go on when people like claim these neighborhoods? Like, it might be somebody like, "Yo, where you from?" Just asking you a simple question, but they really on something. They might really be on one. And then you tell them where you want. Oh yeah, you from 7th Street? Yeah, take this.
Yeah, but
you think that happens a lot of times?
That's like asking a dude beside sneaky wear these days. Like, you know what I mean? Back in the day in the jail, nigga, you do ask you beside sneaky wear.
Like my size.
He gonna take your sneaker. You supposed to say your size.
Yeah.
To let you know you ain't. What does it matter? You ain't getting these. But at the end of the day, you see these young boys wearing masks, they care less about COVID. They'll smoke after anybody. They wear the mask because they can no longer wear the ski mask, so they don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna ask somebody a question they don't want to be seen. But then you got people that's not wearing nothing because they don't care about being seen. You see what I'm saying? So a lot. That's why I was on the fence with the ski mask thing. I think it looked retarded to be walking around at 100 degrees with a hoodie on and a ski mask.
90
I think,
outside.
and I
right
think
now.
you stink. Because I know you do. You're sweating inside that joint. You're wearing it. I know you ain't washing that joint every day. I don't want it. And you got a hoodie on with that joint. So at the end of the day, I was on the fence. But I also knew some people had it on because
They had to.
they had to. But they had to because they did something that triggered the fact that they had to.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean was, like I said, because I'm geographically located at X, Y, and Z, so now I'm going to war with A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
But that only happened because you took the claim of ABC, X, Y, and Z. You claimed that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you don't establish no affiliation, you really don't have those issues. So my thing is with the young boys now, they're saying, okay, say you from Wiz Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Say you from Prison Society. Say you from Nomo. Because be a part of something that nobody's going through nothing with. Be a part of something that's great. Make up and make your own clique. You and your man in them, y'all ain't nobody. That's just my man's in them.
Yeah.
This is my guy. This is my bro.
Moral of the
Hang with
story
that. You
is
ain't gotta be with no corner.
be yourself and try to be positive. That's the moral of the
Be
story.
yourself and just be great.
Take it one day at a time and try to make every day a masterpiece. Like a lot of the people right now, they just on Instagram. Like Instagram really be taking over their whole life. And then like they just letting days go past and then it be months go past or whatever. Then it's like when they look up, it's like, damn, what you accomplished in a year? Like
You did. They got 15,000 followers, 100,000 likes that you can't spend in commissary. The lawyer don't take it. You can't give it to the lawyer. You can't take the commissary. And guess what? You don't even own that because when Instagram decides today or tomorrow and say, I'm tired of your shit. I'm shutting you down.
Yeah.
You're back to being George.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not G Money, G Fabulous no more. You're just George again. You're back to being George. Who knows you, George?
So you think social media contributes to a lot of what's going on right now?
It's the biggest igniter of all the crime in the city of Philadelphia.
Wow.
People are killing you because you done went online and you got these followers. You done said X, Y, and Z. But do you know every fight is videotaped now? Somebody got, it's like, wait a minute. It's like this. Me and you ready to rumble, like, hold on. Get the camera. Let me give him the camera first. Let's go. It got to be some type of evidence that this happened.
And not only that you said that, right? The most sickest thing that I've seen since I've been home, the most sickest thing, I never seen nothing like this. What they're doing now, these young boys, they are going out. You would never think that somebody would go and piss on somebody's grave. Or not only piss on a person's grave, they are filming the deceased while he's laying there on the ground. And then I don't even know how
you got a driver, you got a shooter, and you got the producer, the editor. You got the boy you got the boy that got the video. Yeah. You got the dude that's driving, and you got the shooter. All this got to be covered. If you don't got no footage of it, it's like it don't count. So and then you got this thing now where they got the scoreboard.
How they can say somebody snitched?
You snitch on yourself.
You snitch on yourself.
Listen, most people's biggest evidence is the telephone and social media. Wow. And their phone when they get caught, because they got it. I ain't saying I was the smartest criminal, because I did a lot of dumb stuff in my time. Yeah. That got, come age, come wisdom, but we got the dumbest now. This technology got us so deep. These smartphones have got us so dumb. They get caught with the phone. I'm no name, no blame, right? I just had one of my mentees, right, that shot himself in the foot, that went to jail, right? He was so caught up in his head of wanting the people, which is these a bunch of other dudes that's in jail just like you that lost. Because once you're in jail, you lost. The game is to play to be won. You lost when you go to jail. You're a loser at this point. You lost the game. I want to show the rest of the losers that get my phone. I want a cell phone in the prison. But I want my original phone because all my videos is in there, all my pictures is in there, all the evidence to all my crimes is in my phone. So you wait till you're ready to go to trial, get your phone in jail, and then get that phone took, and now they book you silent now.
Listen,
all the evidence against
guess
you.
What?
God,
it's way more simpler than that. Guess what? It's way more simpler than what he's saying. Guess what the DA gonna say in court? Your Honor, I would like to pull up this YouTube clip See him? This him, Exhibit A. You know what I mean?
It's in the
This is
cloud.
him, Your Honor, this is him talking about
They-
killing the guy
Nah,
while his mother was around the corner.
It's simple to that. They don't
I mean,
need
just
YouTube.
Exhibit A.
They
They
need-
can't even go to trial.
They need a warrant
How can
to
you
go
go
to
to trial with
T-Mobile.
everything on video? You made a video bragging about how you killed
Yeah.
this man, and then you and your homies, y'all got these extended clips with these joints on y'all face acting goofy with all these joints like y'all the Taliban. And I said, whoa.
No, it's
I
bigger than
said,
that.
these young boys is sickening.
Then they
now.
go to Wiz and they say, we need some studio time. We're going to make a rap about it. I want to be real clear. Because you might didn't hear me the first time. So when I tell you about when I spit the block on Joe, you didn't know that was me. You know what I mean?
And some of them, they could have got away with the crime if they didn't post it.
Yeah, and then they say,
Or rap
make a
about
song
it and
about
brag
but
about
they
it.
think the fans like this technology is not real. Like they skip the STEM class.
They know everything.
They skip the STEM class, so they put on they'll have two types of fucking video game shit that I probably can't even pronounce in their head,
Yeah.
and they put these are props. You think the cops don't know that's real?
Yeah.
You think they can't zoom in and tell you that what's the difference from a product?
Yeah.
These are just props, bro. Why would you do that? It was prop. A noun. It's like now, if you smoke, you can just go on Instagram, go to stories. Everybody got all their weed out. This is what I got for sale at my come bust my door, and I got pounds of this shit. Now they don't realize this.
And Telegram
See,
and
and when I grew up, right, you had the wolves, you had the hustlers, you had the gangsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The wolves is
The
coming.
wolves is coming. Like the wolves don't give a fuck about you being
Yeah,
a hustler.
they coming.
Like that. My job is to take what you got.
Yeah.
I look for prey. I'm not a hustler. I'm a wolf. That's what they gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I would see, you know what I mean? But then you had the gangsters that was a little bit of both. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you had these wolves that look for all the hustlers. They're like, oh, what you do? Now it made their job so much easier right now. Oh, you just got that? Oh, you just got this?
And your post.
And they coming now.
I'm gonna be up such and such. We gonna
At this
turn it all
time.
the way up. Like, what?
And when I was in the promo business, right? Like before I had the Blue Chantels allowed, I did that way back when I had Fizos and all them, the River Rock and all the clubs, right? But when I went on a run, I wasn't dumb enough to go back to the club because I had to put out flyers. I had to put out, people had to know what was going on that week. But I know I no longer can party.
Yeah.
These dudes will have a party and be wanted by 100 people and 100 different cops.
Yeah.
And then you know what they're going to say? Wiz told on me.
You told me.
yeah.
No, you ain't telling
Crazy.
yourself Wiz
And,
told on me. Somebody else
one,
told on me.
One thing about these youth also, or whatever, like, I gotta give them some credit because a lot of them is so crazy that they're super intelligent. Like me coming home, you know, I don't know how to work technology like that, but I'm learning it every day and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Like, you know, I just booked my first flight because I had people booking all that stuff for me and
booked your first
paying
flight on the
bills and
phone.
everything for me or
I
whatever.
remember I had somebody make me an email
I do it
address.
all myself. I'm trying to learn to do everything myself right now or whatever. But
Right.
not only that, what I want to tell y'all real quick, these young boys, they so much of a brainiac. My man, they stole this, like he got one of them new SRT Durangos. I mean, he had one or whatever, but he showed me on camera, on video, these young boys, they stole his Durango with a computer, with a tablet in their hand. I'm watching it like, and they start this car up with a tablet.
so-
Like,
Do you realize
and
that
I
app on
said,
your phone, yeah.
damn, they
that
are
kids
geniuses.
2 years old and 1 year old. That's
Yeah.
why you can't go to prison no more. Because 1 year olds and 2 years old,
Yeah.
they get iPads now. They don't
iPads.
got Rocco Soccer robots. They got iPads.
Play it all
They go use YouTube on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So this is why they're so. This is why you don't realize we're
Amazing.
cultivating geniuses and on the low. Why they're so smart computer wise because technology has speeded up. But let's be clear. This is not an attack against the younger population. We got some old ass young boys out here still doing a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah, so-
Excuse my language.
Yeah,
for
talk
the
about them.
podcast,
Talk
but
about
we got a
them.
bunch of old behind young
Yeah,
boys
yeah,
still doing
right.
dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Because why are you on the corner with my grandson?
Yeah.
Not my son, but the grandson.
Yes.
You got some dudes like you on the corner. Hey, what's up with your grandfather?
And that's a big part of the disconnect right there. 'Cause how are you gonna respect me
yeah.
and I'm on the corner
Someone
with
said,
you?
yeah, man, your pop, man, we was out here. He act just like you. Like, why are you still here,
Ridiculous.
Owen?
And then, no, the bad part, he lying. They be lying to our kids. Your pop used to do this. Like, yeah. Come on, man. Why you telling my son some nonsense if you want to tell him the truth, you fraud. And I mean,
And
you making me
usually-
look a little crazy
like-
by saying this, by making up this story. Be accurate if you're going to tell him something. You making up some stuff that was It wasn't. It's not even the truth. I mean, I got blamed for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because did a lot of stuff, but don't tell my son something that I was blamed on
Because
a
you give
story
them a
that was
wrong
made up.
image they look up to, and that's a problem. I tell my sons all the time, like anybody that you know that was with me, and they out there, look at him as a sucker.
Yeah.
Sports Elite.
And they still out
Why
there?
are you still on that corner? Why did my dad do over 20 years come home and run
And
circles
you
around
still
you?
here.
Like, and he ain't grab a package.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of the hate comes. A lot of hate comes from because these dudes are really coming home from prison. Dudes that's already on the streets has decided that I'm gonna change my life around because they give city jobs like crazy to return to citizen justice impact people now. So dudes are doing better with their paycheck than these dudes are doing the quarter. See, one thing I noticed when I came home, the game changed so much, right?
Yeah.
Before they put this fentanyl in play, like I was like, yo, why would you even ever sell coke, man? Where's the flip? You doing this for $100? Like, I mean, when I was doing what I was doing, like I tripled and doubled and tripled. These dudes making $100. I'm like, you can't even pay a lawyer off of this, man.
Right.
Game over.
And a lot of it's so crazy or whatever. Like, a lot of them, they actually bragging about like, yeah, I ain't never had no job. I mean, I ain't never worked or whatever. Like, and it's like I be thinking like, damn. So I guess you just gonna be out here and you gonna make this shit your pension or whatever. Like, cause you already 55 right now. You already 60 or whatever. So like, I guess like this gonna be your pension. I be thinking like, do we think about what is the next move?
Yeah.
Like.
No, because they think this is they think shout out to Wiz. They think like what's the show? It's real life. They think these powers and
Empire and all that.
empires are real life.
That ain't
They
real
believe
life.
like my son is about to be the next me. This boy, I'm gonna train him until what's gonna happen is they're gonna wipe you all out. You know what I mean? Take everybody down. But the fact that you got to realize it's more mental than it is anything because cognitive thinking means change your way of thinking. If you always gonna have the same people doing the same things, nothing changes.
Right.
And we know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. A lot of these dudes, and I tell my son, I said, listen, if this dude if he say he been running with me as much as I've been running and doing what I've been doing, why I do all this time? He obviously ain't smarter than me because he's still there. So you better get away from him because probably telling.
Yeah.
First of all, and if he ain't telling, he ain't did something right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of dudes that made a lot of money. Some people have successfully stepped away from the game and doing some really great things now, and they live it. But if you've been in the game 20-something years, right? Let's just say if you're an artist, let's go on, forget the drugs, right? And you've been rapping 20-something years, you ain't signed yet, bro, Chick-fil-A hiring.
Chick-fil-A.
Like,
Right.
or take that intellectual property that you learned in that 20 years and make that your business.
Yeah.
Because rapping ain't yours.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're not a rapper, bro.
Like some people don't know how to reinvent themselves. They don't know how to reinvent themselves. Like so they'll be stuck in on one thing.
Yeah.
Like I rap first, right? I'll be 50 years old this year. What do I look like trying to rap? So I still can.
Yeah.
I can rap circles around people, but I chose to write for people.
And put the person that has the image
Exactly.
of the people that
Exactly.
they're gonna go to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And,
Right.
and let them do what they do.
And I write.
And you
with
can
the-
still get the bigger. Believe it or not, some
You
writers
own
get
it.
bigger checks. Yeah.
You own it. You own all the publishing.
Yeah.
You own the music. So like, it's like, why do you want to be a rapper?
Yeah. Why exactly? What are you gonna get out of it?
Like, I can see people like, if you reach a certain status as a rapper, like if you're a Beans or you're a Freeway or those guys have big careers, right?
But they already made their money.
already
They living
made-
off their legacy now.
Right. So exactly. So they those are the artists that still get booked on tours.
Yes, of course.
Because they got catalogs.
yes.
They got these catalogs that they could go on tour. But if you are of a certain age, and no diss to anyone, but if you are of a certain age, you hang your head up. Write for somebody. If you still not, like, I don't know.
And
I
it's
ain't trying to tell you what to
hard.
do.
No, I'm gonna tell y'all, and I know you can probably agree to this about a lot of these old heads. What happens is, they was in the penitentiary for maybe 7 years, 8 years, or 10 years, maybe 15 years, maybe 20 years, but they never grew mentally. So like when they went to jail when they was 18, and now they 50 or whatever, and they coming home still 18. So now he come home and he telling this young boy that he got to get off the block. Cause you the OG from back in the day. You 50 years old. This young boy, he 18 or whatever. Like, and he and his youth, and this is how a tragedy always occurs from these old heads that come home with the tough image or come home like trying to do some stuff that you did back in the day is not like that no more or whatever. You know what I mean? Like somebody 15 years old or whatever, like
they don't realize
handle you quick or whatever. So
they don't
it's
realize
like crazy.
what that old head is to that young boy. You a trophy to them.
Yeah.
You not rock the old
Make
head
a
so
rap
and
about
so.
it.
No, they ain't gonna say. They ain't even gonna give you the respect to call you old head. That's the thing. They're not gonna say. They're gonna say
Goofy
oh,
ass. Yeah. That's what they gonna say.
the dickhead. Like they gonna give you all everything. You ain't gonna get old head because you gotta earn that status with
My
these young
boy
boys.
was a goofy.
Young boys
Get
is
him
like
outta here.
they look at it
I'm
like
smoking
this.
on OG.
Yeah,
I'm smoking on him.
yeah. It's like and if you're not willing,
Yeah.
because these rules don't really have no game. These games don't really have no rules. I'll replace that with that.
The
So if
streets
you're
is
not
alive.
willing, if you're not willing to do that, you can't. You're not willing to do just because they don't have they go all out. They play roughhouse. There's no calls.
Yeah.
So they're willing to okay. I know we're in front of the police station, but I'm willing to shoot you in your head because I'm willing to go to jail. I'm 16 and can't give me life. I'm gonna be home in 25 years. You're dead. I don't care. If you're not willing to take that risk and do the same thing, leave him alone or help him.
Or help them.
Like, don't go messing with that boy. You remember on Friday when Debo knocked that boy out? Told you leave that boy alone. You know what I mean? Leave him alone. If you're not trying to help him or do something for him, don't talk about him.
Yeah.
If you're not, don't talk about a problem you don't got a solution to.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda, never
Yes.
did nothing to dudes out
Yes.
here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all that, these young boys, what are you doing
Right.
to get them out the way?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Instagram, you have all these trolls that got they like the bedroom geniuses. They just sit there all day, no job, nothing going on with stuff, and they can comment on everything. Then first, this stuff for that. They got a million spam. They might come up. They might fry some of that spam. Like they got all these spam pages. They talk trash all day, and they geniuses, but ain't doing nothing.
Nothing.
You see what I'm saying? So you can't even get caught up in that. Like you can comment whatever you want on my page. My block list might be long as Broad Street as well. Like you know what I mean? Okay, boop. I ain't beef with you. I don't even know. I'm fighting no ghosts.
Yeah.
I'm from the old. I'm not fighting no ghosts. I don't know you. You know me. We're
That's
not
the
doing
thing.
that.
Yeah, they always come off saying something crazy, but I learned a tactic. You know what I mean? When they start getting crazy, whatever, like for real, whatever, you gotta just let them know, like, I ain't into that. Like
I
you
ain't
got
doing
it,
that.
man.
I'm blocking
Like,
you. You're not worth.
You got it.
You're not
Because
worth
they
my
will-
comment
right,
or my time.
But you just
I'm
give it
just
to them
blocking
one
you.
time. Like, right, exactly. Because time
That
is
one
precious.
time will
like,
turn to 100 times.
Right.
Listen.
So it's
and then it's a fake page anyway.
Exactly.
So why you entertaining?
Because when
a-
you
yeah.
do that, you're
So
going to come
I
back
got
and he's
you,
going to call you all types
Imagine
of...
if you responded back to all of them. Yeah,
He wait,
like,
you
who got the
evidently
time
he don't
for
got
that?
he don't got common sense.
Yeah,
so
he gonna keep on going.
you
I
gonna
don't got
you
time to keep
you gonna
going.
look and you ain't even looking at your phone. Next you know you look up, everybody cracking up because he done called you all types of this,
Right.
that, the third, and you like,
So it
Oh, shit.
it sounds like that is the real disconnect. That's the real disconnect between old heads and young boys. Because a lot of old heads are still stuck in their second childhood. You feel me? So they don't got the mindsets or the know-how or the resources to get these youngers. You know what I'm saying? This was a great discussion. I want to thank Ricky Duncan, PKA Mr. Nomo, my man David Mead, PKA
Daoud.
Uzi. Uzi.
I'm always gonna support you, man. I'm gonna come
Yeah,
down
man.
here more often.
It's my
man.
guy,
I'm also
man.
support you,
Yeah,
man.
no
I'll be
doubt,
down
brother.
that joint.
I appreciate y'all, man. I want to tell the people again, always remember to be an example. We're going to recode the code. Peace.